What's up, everybody? Mark with Ecom Warriors. Welcome to a new video. Guys, thank you guys for watching. This is a new YouTube channel. I just want to shout out to everybody. And today I'm going to be talking about that little social proof thing that pops up on the bottom left of the screen that you guys see for a lot of Shopify stores. They kind of have this stuff where they say someone recently bought X or so-and-so product. And I want to talk about trust. I want to talk about social proof. And I want to talk about, in what event does this actually work? And we're going to break down the consumer psychology aspect of it. So I want to go ahead and talk to you and think, I want to give you guys like an example for a second, right? Imagine if you're a consumer, okay? And you head over to a website where things are almost out of stock. You know that the launch is going to end soon. Maybe for those people who can kind of simulate the situation, there were, I remember being in high school and different Jordan sneakers would, sell out real quick, and people would wait on lines, outside of malls, and they would wait on the computer to order as fast as they can. And all that created one thing, and that one thing is scarcity. Right? When people know that something is scarce, people want it more, right? Now, it just so happens that Shopify created a scarcity element, meaning if you were, the element, for example, like, let's get rid of this for a second. You see this timer right here. In a way, this is scarcity. Now, the average consumer who comes to this website, okay, and sees a little countdown timer this long for 13 days, the element of scarcity is not going to exist, even though it's a scarcity factor. Well, I kind of want to relate this to the very factor of social proof and, proof that trustworthiness. What people do is they have this little pop-up that pops up in the corner of their screen that said, so-and-so bought this product, or certain person bought this product. And that works certain periods of the time to get the conversion. See, the whole thing about Shopify is that we want to learn what is going to take to get the biggest conversions possible, or the most conversions possible, right? Not just order size, order average value, right? Or the average value of an order, but we also want more conversions. We want a higher conversion percentage. For those of you who don't know what a conversion is, it's very simple, all right? If you send 100 people to your website and 5 people buy, that's a 5% conversion rate. So you're converting the people who come to your website from leads to customers, leads to consumers, right? So when is it that these pop-ups work? Well, in my research and my personal experience, setting up multiple different stores, hiring people to set up stores, selling out, selling different businesses, I realized that this kind of pop-up happens or is extremely effective in certain areas, certain businesses. If you don't have, if you're not experiencing this, then it's really not needed. Number one, the less trustworthy store or the newer store. Here's what I mean by that. If your store has a low reputation, meaning it's not really well known online, maybe you just created your store, you're trying to advertise, you're just starting to advertise, you might want to have a pop-up like this, okay? Now, I'll talk about how to get this pop-up. You can get apps on Shopify. However, the apps do require it to be verified. Now, as you guys know, no sale has ever went through this specific website. This is a website that I use just for tutorial purposes, and I made this website on the YouTube channel here for you guys to see. If you didn't see that video, I recommend you go ahead and check them out. Now, the thing that I think about, right, other than just trustworthiness of a website, is if a consumer comes to the website and they don't trust the actual website, they don't trust the product, there's not a chance they're going to buy the product. They're not going to risk it. You got to understand there's 5 different types of buyers. One of the type of buyers is a needy type buyer. This is an identity. There's 5 identities, right? There's the seasonal buyer, right? A buyer who has to buy through seasons. The habitual buyer, the buyer who buys through habit, right? Maybe every week or every month they need a new bag, a new scarf, a new swimsuit, whatever it might be, right? You have the luxury buyer or the name brand buyer who can only want to buy certain brands. Then you have the deal buyer, right? But there's also another type of buyer. That's the needy buyer, if they're in need of a product. Well, what we find is that in terms of buying identities, the needy buyer, the individual who's in need of something, correlates or behaves the same way as the wanting buyer, a person who just simply wants an item, right? And who, has the identity of becoming a buyer. And when I say I have the identity, if you go on Facebook ads, right, you can target buyers over visitors or something like that, right? So you could target people who have periodically bought stuff on Facebook before. These individuals will only buy if they trust your business, if they trust your website, right? Because there's no need for the product. There's just a want or a desire, right? So what happens is if they feel like there's low trust, they're not going to buy, right? So what this little pop-up works is in a case where if they feel the website is untrustworthy and a pop-up like this shows up, now it kind of almost alleviates that pain for the buyer. See, the buyer always has these objections, right? And if you clear out those objections, you're going to get a sale. This is why it's hard to get conversions, right? You might have a 1, 2, 3% conversion rate because so many buyers have so many objections, and it's hard to tick off every objection for every buyer. Every buyer has their own identity. Now, the second phase in which a little pop-up like this would work, or a sales pop-up, right, would work, is in which your scarcity, right? So if you're running some kind of ad that says 50% off, all products have to go by Tuesday, let's say, or by Monday, right? And today's Sunday, and you have a little timer on each product. Like, for example, let's just click on this product here. Let's give it a minute to load. If you look here, it says 283 customers are viewing this product, 6 sold in the last 18 hours. And this comes in with an ad, right? There's an ad in your brain because you saw the ad. It's in the back of your head. That's how you got to the website in the first place, where it says something like all products have to go by Monday. Now there's a little scarcity. Next thing you know, you see the pop-up on the corner of the screen right here where things are being sold. That's going to motivate you to be a buyer. So the most important thing here is to realize in what applications does this work. I see people all the time creating Shopify stores, putting on this little pop-up on the side that means nothing because they never took the time to understand why they're putting it up, right? And that's something I want you guys to keep in mind when it comes to building every store, not just any store, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at how you can get this. So there's 2 ways that you can get those little pop-ups on the bottom of the screen, right? So the first method is by paying for apps on Shopify. Now, Shopify has free programs that you could do that, like trials and things like that. But if you know me, I like the Wolf of Shopify theme. I don't have to pay for apps. I get that for free. So if we go here to the theme and we hit customize. Now, I already got the theme. If you guys don't know about the theme, you can either search it on Google or just click the link down below. It's called the Wolf of Shopify theme from wolfofshopify.com. It's this theme here, the very first one. You could click on it, and let's see here. They have this theme, Wolf of Shopify package. It's $100. You could use a $40 discount code in the description box down below if you want it. They also have their own $40 discount code. I am an affiliate, so if you guys want to support the channel, just click the link down below and use that specific discount code. If you don't use it, then obviously you're not going to support the channel, but it's perfectly fine. You won't get the discount. But anyways, if we just hit here customize, this is of course after I uploaded it. Let's give it a minute here to customize, and let me show you the option to get that done. I want to show you how to structure it. Okay. So let's let it load just for a minute here. Let me get my drink. Okay. Now what we're going to do is hit the theme settings button. And if you look here, there's this little gear icon, and it says next to it, add-on someone purchased. You want to click on this. This is an add-on that the theme comes with. Okay. And basically what you have is, and I'm going to skip through these little details right here, but you have the selection between 8 different products that you can always cycle through to represent what's being sold. You could also change up the text. So, for example, if you look here, it says someone recently bought identity jogger, right? So 20 minutes ago from Blackburn, UK. What you could do is, like, let's say this is the first one. You hit change, you select the product you want in case, like, let's say I want the core performance shirt, right? Then I can edit it. So I could say, like, let's say 26 minutes ago, right? And then that will save, and it will say 26 on the next pop-up, right? For this specific product, I might put like 49 here, like 49 minutes ago. Here I'll put 2 hours and 23 minutes ago, right? See, you can see here, guys, 26, it says it right here, 26 minutes ago. 2 hours and 23 minutes. You want to set it up a little bit differently, each one a little bit differently, obviously. You wouldn't want every single one to be the same. Let's just go ahead and scroll up. And now it says here, someone recently purchased. You can change up the text behind that. Or someone recently bought someone recently purchased. It's all the same. So it all works the same way. And then let's go ahead and save it. Now you also have the option between left or right. The reason why I choose left all the time, guys, is me personally, I'm selling to United States audiences. I don't ship worldwide. It's not something I engage in. So if you know anything like about America, depending on who's watching this, American or people or English people, they read from left to right. So the first thing they're going to look at is the left side of the screen. But if you're, maybe an Arabic country or just another country where you read from right to left, then you want to select right here, right? So it would pop up on the right screen. So this is an example. Let's let it load for a minute for it to pop up. It has like a timer of 15 seconds between each pop-up, which is really, really good because you don't want it to annoy the consumer. You just want people to know. So here it is. There you go. A little pop-up right there. Now I'm going to leave it back to left side because, like I said, English speakers. It says enable it and add. So if you want to enable it, you can also enable it for mobile. And what you want to do for mobile, guys, is you want to split test. So what that means, and this is a little bit more advanced, but what you want to do is if you're going to do this, you want to split test. So 1 week, drive a certain amount of traffic to the website and enable this. Enable the setting to have the pop-up on for mobile devices, right? And collect all the data. See the conversion rate. Then turn it off, and then see the conversion rate. See, I believe 60% roughly of the average of all websites, roughly on average, their traffic is mobile. So mobile is a huge part of our businesses, every single one of us. And it's just something we got to pay attention to. And lastly, here's the text color. So if you look here, the word identity jogger, where you can click the link, it's black, right? I could actually change the color, so I can make it, let's say, red if I wanted to. In my case, I'll leave it black. I think it just goes well with this theme. And the text color here, which is the other text, like someone recently bought or 2 hours and 20 minutes ago, something like that, we could change that. Now, something that I failed to do in the tutorial here is I failed to change the location. So here it says Blackburn, UK. Maybe I could set up another country to say, Los Angeles, California, like something like that, where you just switch it up. And it works. So you could change up all the locations here. You can see here I'm doing it. I might put one here that says Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Let's see here. Change this. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I might change another location that might be, I don't know, Ireland, whatever locations you want to add. Ideally, you would put the locations of where you actually are selling. I think that makes sense. I think that just, it's kind of obvious, or where you're advertising to. And yeah, guys, that's all I got to say. So now you guys understand fully when to use the little pop-up in the corner of the screen, okay? That little sales pop-up, that little social proof kind of thing pop-up, now you know when to use it, all right, guys? Just because some companies aren't using them doesn't mean they're not successful. I know a ton of companies that are not using them that are extremely successful. All right. So, and by the way, guys, this will slow down your website speed a little bit, right? Because it's an active little piece of code that your browser has to work through. But it could make or break you, right? For some businesses, it could, depending on, like I said, the advertising strategy. All right, guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. That's all I got to say for this video. And really, that's it. All right. Peace.